It really started in 1993 when Jackie invited me to go to a dinner that was commemorating the 25th anniversary of Jimmy's passing. And I met all his old friends, mechanics, guys that he raced against, and that was when I thought, what is it about this guy? Just the stories they were telling. He seemed to, you know, an absolute tiger in the car, just the best driver of his generation, maybe ever. And then a very kind of quiet, simple, humble guy out of the car. And the more I read about him, the more I talked to people. It just, I obviously there's exploits in the car sort of fired my passion, but I think it was as much the guy that he was outside the car. I think it's the reason he's my hero. The guys that went before us, they trod the path. They to me they were all heroes because of the risks they took and their exploits. And I love the history of the sport, whether it's the drivers, the cars, just the tracks, the whole thing. And I'm fascinated by it, and in some ways obsessed by it, I guess. In 2007, I went to the museum up there in Dearborn, and we were doing an appearance. And so I was walking around the museum, and I saw it, and I said, "Oh, nice replica." And they're like, "No, this is the real thing." So they allowed me to go over the barrier, and I remember I stood there and I touched the side of the car. I think Max Pappas was with me actually, and Max and I were kind of all over this car, and I remember putting my fingerprints on it, and I thought that was as close as I'd ever get to it. And here I am, getting to play with it today at the Speedway. I was saying to some of the guys, it's like when you win the 500, there's so many emotions, so many things coming at you. It's tough to process it all right now, and it'll probably be quite a while before I really truly appreciate, that feeling and what I got to do today. Just from simply driving the car, it's very responsive. You really drive it just with your wrists. You can't help it because there's no space for, like in a modern Indy car, you've really got to use your whole body. This thing, you just very much drive it with your fingertips and your wrists, and it responds beautifully. And the noise of the old 4-cam, the noise is just incredible. I kept it about 6,200 RPM and was very respectful. I realised what I was driving, and there was that kind of Jekyll and Hyde thing going on down the back stretch. I'm like, God, I want to really get on this thing, and I'm looking and think, okay, remember what you're driving here. But when the first time I got to about half throttle, it pinned me back in the seat. It's got a lot of power, and really an interesting thing to drive. The offset took a bit of getting used to as well. No buffeting, really nice driving position, no buffeting. I got hit with a couple of stones and stuff behind the camera car, but no, it was very comfortable. But you knew when the engine was starting to get warm because you could feel the heat radiating up through the front here from the oil cooler and the radiator. I think 500 miles in this thing, the heat that I felt radiating, that would be tough, definitely. But the size of the fuel tanks, this thing has a lot more fuel than I'm used to running. We run 22 gallons or something. The balance shift would be amazing as the fuel burned off from different areas of the car. Mentally, this would have been a tough thing. I mean, the Indianapolis 500 is not the most physical race, but mentally it's unbelievably tough. And I think in this car, just sliding around, all that power, limited grip, it would have been it'd been a long day at the office. Yeah, I think when you see this car was really ahead of its time. Obviously Chapman did a great job, the Ford guys with the motor, and then you put Jimmy Clark in the car. Even the level of driver talent in that field that day, they were going to have a tough time. So yeah, he kind of dominated that one, didn't he? We're lucky enough, we got Jimmy Zandvoort winning Lotus 49 here today too. And they're maybe two of the most beautiful cars ever. I don't know if it's the colours or what, or just that these guys knew how to draw a beautiful car. But no wings, nothing, just stunning. It's for me, it's damn near perfect. The modern day Aston Martin is one of the best sounding racing cars, if not the best sounding one out there. But the Ford 4-cam, it's going to be tough to beat. I'd love to have actually been standing outside just to hear it today going past for a minute, and was good enough this morning warming up, but when it, you know, when it was on the track, I bet it sounded really special.